Hey everybody, I have to tell you something, and it's really exciting, and it's kind of the reason why I haven't been making many videos the last few weeks. I am pregnant, 7.5 weeks. Well, I'll be 8 weeks, I think, on Thursday. And we've heard a really strong heartbeat, 164 beats per minute. The baby was 4 days bigger, so it seems to be developing well. Um, And so I'm telling you this, and I hope that you keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I have lost two babies in the past, one kind of early and one almost at the end of the first trimester, and that one was really difficult. And so I have a feeling that everything's going to go really well this time, and I want to share my journey with you. Right now I have a medical doctor because I've been having a really hard time trying to find a midwife that takes my insurance that will do a home birth. But I'm hoping to do a home birth. I'm hoping to do a lot of interesting things you may not have even heard of, which is called a lotus birth, where they allow the baby to stay attached to the cord and the placenta for a couple days. So like instead of storing my cord blood with some bank that's going to give it to who knows who and let them clone it for their super soldier program. You know I'm a conspiracy theorist. But anyway, instead of that happening, the cord blood just goes directly into the baby, making the baby stronger. So it probably won't need the cord blood later that this bank may or may not even have left, because public banking goes to anybody, and then private banking is very expensive. So yeah, so I want to do something like that. And also they take the placenta after that and they encapsulate it so that I can consume these pills of placenta. And if you're a male, please don't unsubscribe. But yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot about this, and just my take on pregnancy and loss, because there's no way I can talk about this without talking about the babies that I lost. And but you know, women's freedom of choice and natural childbirth and just how to beat morning sickness. Like, yeah, I've been struggling with it, and I'm eating foods that I don't normally eat, like peanut butter. I don't usually eat peanut butter because my son's allergic to it, but I'm also talking with other pregnant women, like this one woman who I know, an anonymous person right now. She's a pot smoker, and she continued smoking pot through her whole pregnancy, and now she's in danger under another state, not mine, but of having CPS called on her if they, decide to report it or whatever. And so I'm going to talk about some of that too, and the effects of that. So I hope that you guys will stick with me, and maybe not get too grossed out. Maybe if I just put pregnancy week blank at the beginning of each video, you can just avoid these if you like. Or if you're a female and you're watching this, I hope you subscribe, because I'm going to keep talking about it. And you've missed so much already, and I could make like 10 videos right now. But I don't really want to, because I have this cystic acne all over my face. I have like a third eye here, and then I've got like these here and that. Of course, I had to drink 50 grams of pure corn syrup the other day because they wanted to test me for gestational diabetes because I had a fat baby when my son was born. Well, first of all, him being born fat increases his risk of having diabetes, maybe under some studies, but he's not by any means like that now. He's perfectly healthy now and quite athletic, actually. But it doesn't really increase my chance of being that, from what I understand. Anyway, test came back normal, so that's great. But I'm really already ready to go with a midwife, because I'm already just, it's like, let's test you for this, and let's test you for that, and let's do this, and let's do that. And if you are overdue, we're going to induce you, because my son was a week overdue, which is probably why he was so big. But anyway, lots of controversy. So, if you can ignore my third eye and all my crazy pregnancy pimples, not that I didn't have them before, but now they're just like bigger. Yeah. I would rather puke 5 times a day and just get rid of all these pimples. That's what I would rather, because I'm so vain. Anyway, so funny story number 1, and then I'll like let you go. I go in 2 days before I have to take this glucose tolerance test, and I asked the lady, and I'm like, can I look at the ingredients, please, because I'm allergic to corn, and she's like, sure. And she hands me this orangey, liquidy bottle. It's like about the size of a bottle of cough syrup that I'm supposed to drink, right? As if a pregnant woman wants to drink a bottle of orange-flavored cough syrup at 7 weeks pregnant. Anyway, so I look at the ingredients, and it was glucose, not dextrose, and it was natural flavor, which can be the anal secretion of a beaver. So that's like difficult enough, okay? But I was like, okay, I can tolerate this, I can do this, I'll be back on Friday, blah, blah, blah. I come back on Friday, and I mentioned it to her again, like the corn allergy and how I don't want to drink dextrose. And she hands me a bottle. She's like, what do you want, fruit punch or orange? And I'm like, I don't care, So she hands me fruit punch. I down half the bottle because you have to drink it in like 5 minutes. It's sweet, nasty crap that I would never drink that much in real life, sugar, ever. So she hands me this, and I drink half of it, and I look, and oh, guess what? The fruit punch flavor is pure dextrose. 100% pure dextrose. Dextrose, nasty dextrose, pure corn. So I'm like, just down half a bottle of corn syrup, and I have to finish the other half. And so I finished the other half, and I'm like, can I walk the halls? Because, when you walk, it opens your insulin receptors and lets the sugar go out of your blood into your cells to make energy. But she's like, no, you have to sit. And I'm like, I'm really nervous about it, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to walk the halls, but instead I sat there and secretly tapped my feet and braided my hair for an hour, because I was really afraid that the corn syrup would like make my blood sugar go absolutely haywire because I'm allergic to it and whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I drank a bottle of corn syrup, and then I busted out with this third eye. So thank you, medical establishment. Hey, here's an idea. If you're worried about a pregnant lady and the health of her unborn child, and you think maybe she might have a problem tolerating sugar, you can actually get a blood test called an HA1C or A1HC. Google that. And it tests the amount of like remnants of sugar in your red blood cells to see how much sugar you've been consuming over the past few months, but also to like as a marker for diabetes. Now, in their defense, they were testing me for gestational diabetes. But, I think there are better ways to go about it than say, hey, we're concerned about the health of your unborn child. Here, have a giant glass of GMO corn syrup. Anyway, that's why I'm really ready for a midwife, because I don't know if a midwife would have been that crazy about it, but apparently it's this new recommendation that if you've had a big fat baby, which used to be considered a good thing. I mean, let me just say one more thing on this rant. Okay, I know women, no offense to you women, I love you all, you're all beautiful, who smoke cigarettes through their whole pregnancy, smoke pot through their whole pregnancy, which I didn't do with my other pregnancy, I'm not doing now, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with pot. That's just my opinion, but didn't do it. They gain 80 to 100 pounds in their pregnancy, and they pop out little tiny 6-pound babies. And they're just like, bling, oh, look at my baby, it's so cute, I can hold it in the palm of my hand. Whereas my baby was like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay? But those women who are drinking soda all day long, smoking cigarettes, lighting up a spliff, under these new guidelines, okay, they're not like at risk for gestational diabetes. Not that pot would make you at risk, but really? Because the way I understand it, and I have prepared myself for a master's in nutrition, so I kind of am understanding diabetes and how it works. So a lot of it has to do with mineral deficiencies, and when you consume processed sugar, processed flour, it lacks the natural minerals that should be there to help your body process it, so it steals your minerals, leading to a mineral deficiency, which is why I really think that sugar is related to diabetes. Not because the sugar itself, so like if you're eating honey, maple syrup, bananas, you'll probably be fine. Berries even lower diabetes in people. So, but if you're consuming like white sugar and soda pop, hello. But I'm the one getting tested. Well, the results are in. I'm normal, so hallelujah. I just have big fat pimples all over my face, and I vomit at least once a day. and I sleep like 12 hours a day, and I'm sensitive to air. Yes, I'm sensitive to air. So what that means is that if it's like a certain temperature inside my house, okay, like it's set to 80 because I'm freezing all the time, so it's like 80 is comfortable for me, and then I walk outside and it's like 60, the change in like humidity and pressure and temperature, the sudden change like hits my face and it'll make me gag. Or like say, you know, that someone cooks something, of course the smell makes me gag. Like, oh, and I know my own stuff stinks, my own number two. Like usually, I don't know if you notice this, but when you smell other people's, it really stinks, and usually when you smell yourself, it's fine. But no, it just all smells. It just all really smells. Everything smells. Have you ever seen that show Alphas? Because like there's this girl in there who has one of her like superpowers is that she has a really sensitive everything, like sight, touch, sound, smell, taste, feel, all that stuff. That's me. I'm like her from Alphas, except, you know, I actually called it out. My husband brought home some coffee that he made at work because I asked him not to make it here because it's too tempting for me. And so he brought home this coffee that he brewed that had been sitting at work, and he's like, yeah, it's so great. It's local Texas pecan nut coffee. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, that's great. It's not like, whoa, that has chemicals in it. No, it doesn't. It's just nuts. I'm like, how do you think they put the nut flavor in there? I can smell the natural flavor, the artificial flavor. I can smell it. It's a chemical. He goes to work. He comes home. You're right. Oh, my gosh, you're right. It's flavored. I'm like, yeah. Like, I can smell it. And ever since I read that article about how vanilla flavoring, like if it's not real vanilla, okay, but it's like vanilla flavoring, and it says natural vanilla flavor, it's made from the secretion, the anal secretion of a beaver. I'm like flipping out, okay? Like, so like for instance, almond milk, if you get the vanilla almond milk, guess what? Natural flavor. Doesn't say vanilla, doesn't even say vanillin, which would be synthetic, which would not be the butt juice of a beaver. Vanilla, natural, it doesn't even say that. It says natural flavor, but it's vanilla on the front. Thank you, Blue Diamond. Thank you for putting the beaver butt juice in the almond milk. So no almond flavor, no vanilla flavor almond milk. Turkey meat, like, which I'm not technically supposed to eat. Natural flavor, it's like the hormone antibiotic free, doesn't matter. Natural flavor, I can taste it. I can just taste the chemicals. Like, it's like I have the super receptors. So if I make a boiled egg, I'm fine. If I eat an orange, I'm fine. If I have apples dipped in peanut butter, like organic peanut butter, I'm fine. If I eat like anything with natural flavor, I can't freaking stand it. I can't stand it. It is like I am a chemical, like you thought I was a chemical phobe before and a GMO phobe before. Now I'm like superwoman. So I rambled on, sorry, 13 minutes. I'm trying to like at least let you get a laugh out of all this, but please just like pray that this one turns out. I'm not guaranteeing you all that there's going to be a beautiful baby on these videos on May 22nd, but I hope so, and I feel good about it, and so yeah, have a great one, and just don't forget to subscribe to me on this channel, like right down one of those sides. And then don't forget to check out my website, EdenCultures.com, which has nothing at all about pregnancy on it at all. It's got some recipes and some survival-y stuff, and then some like really out there political stuff, like total conspiracy theory stuff. And then like Twitter and Facebook. So Facebook, I'm going to share with you like all the current events that I think are important, and I think I have really good taste. So, and then Twitter, you're going to catch that whole vibe. And so like in YouTube, I have a really great list of playlists that are extensive, and because I spend way too much time on YouTube. So check it out. Love you.